Alright people, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. We have just ended our season 2-0 against Brighton. We have beaten them at home for the first time in a very, very long time. And we've beaten them, not at home actually, but we've beaten them home and away for the first time since 1980. So it's been a very, very long time ever since we've beaten them home and away, and we have concluded our season in a rather usual style because we always beat clubs as we close the season. I want to share my thoughts about the season and share my thoughts about what I expect Arsenal is going to do, especially in the transfer summer, because that is what we know, that is where we are going. It's more like how have we reflected and where are we going. So make sure you smash the like button, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Before I go any further, in the description below there is a second video, a second channel. Make sure you click on that link and subscribe to the channel because I'll be bringing you the latest transfer news from other clubs. So if you're interested, make sure you click and subscribe on that channel. And if you like me as a person, make sure you click and subscribe on the channel. If you want to do any business, my numbers and email is in the description as well. You're welcome as well. So let us get into the video. We have finished our season, a very disappointing season, a very ugly season. If you're an Arsenal fan this season, you've gotten, it's like it's been a million heartbreaks. It's like falling in love for the first time, and then you get heartbroken for the second time, you get heartbroken for the third time, until 100 times. That is how you can explain Arsenal's season. It's just like falling in love and then you get heartbroken all the time. That's been, I don't remember a very good run that we have had. The last run we have, I think the only good run we have had in the season is Arsenal winning 5 consecutive games at the end of the season. That's the only good thing you're talking about. But the likes of the Europa League, you expected us at least to make it to the final. We didn't. The FA Cup, we were knocked out as early as the first game. The Capital One Cup, I don't know when we got knocked out. It was Manchester City. I still remember Runason having a nightmare in that game. The Premier League, that was never our title even before starting the season. Looking at the transfer. At the transfer summer we had, you could only tell that we were never close to winning the Premier League or even finishing in top 4. And I said that at the beginning of the season that I don't see Arsenal really make top 4. And many people said I was so negative, but you can see we have finished far away from the top 4. For me, these are the fruits of having such a board. These are the fruits of having such poor transfer decisions. We had to sign in Houssem Aouar. We had to sign in Thomas Partey. We had to sign in a decent right back in the summer. All those things we had to do, the decisions have come back and they have hurt us dearly. This season, it is just a reflection of what Arsenal failed to do in the past transfer markets. Bellerin had to leave. Arsenal had to sign in a right back. We had to sign in a centre back. We had to bring in a left back. We had to bring in two or three midfielders. We failed to do that. All we did was sign in a centre back and sign in a midfielder in Thomas Partey, sign in a freebie in Willian. Nothing really changed from last season to this season. We went into this season with almost the same squad. Honestly, with the same squad, apart from Thomas Partey and Gabriel. Willian has not been playing football, so we just copied and pasted the same squad from season to season, and the fruits have been very visible. 8th last season, 8th this season. Last season we were lucky. We won the FA Cup and we somehow smuggled our way into the Europa League. This season we've been unlucky. We could have smuggled our way into the UEFA Champions League, but we were unlucky. I don't know whether we were unlucky or we didn't deserve it, but in my opinion, we didn't deserve it. We don't deserve to be in the Premier League either. But we are there by right. It's like we ascribe to be there. For me, this season reflects on what should be done in the transfer window. We need to do upgrades. absolute upgrades. On a daily basis, I've been singing this song that Arsenal needs upgrades on almost each and every area. With Brandon making those mistakes at that rate, you need a better goalkeeper. The likes of we've seen like the likes of Chelsea. They have dumped they have dumped Kepa Arrizabalaga, and now they have a new goalkeeper, and they have qualified for Champions League somehow. They qualified. They finished top 4. So for me, if anything happens, first and foremost, we've got to do upgrades. Well, I might not talk about Leno at the moment because I think it's not a priority. But if he fails to if he fails to acknowledge that he's the first choice goalkeeper Arsenal, then we have nothing to do. We've got to do an upgrade. But we need upgrades in terms of a right back. That has been a position that has cost us so many points, a position that has hurt us so much, very much. The likes of Cedric, the likes of Bellerin, they have absolutely screwed us up this season. When Kian was injured, it was a very, very clear, a clear sign that we needed a backup left back. We had a chance to sign a player of that caliber, of that type, in January, and excuses were after. Excuses came in after excuses, and we didn't sign in anyone. So we need a backup left back. But my biggest problem is Arsenal's midfield. If you look at what Mikel Arteta wants to do, what Unai Emery was trying to do, and what Arsene Wenger was trying to inject into this club as an identity and a DNA, everything rotates around the midfield, and it is the worst part of this Arsenal team. The worst. I think we have one player that I can call world class, Thomas Partey, and he's been absolutely average this season. We've got to call a spade a spade. He's been so average this season. I think if I'm Partey at this point in time, seeing Atletico Madrid having won the Liga, I'm regretting. He should be regretting because he's come at a club where everything is negative. From the fan base that is toxic and naive, to the manager who is a novice, to the board that doesn't care, to the cronkies who don't know that they own Arsenal, to the players who do not even have a winning mentality. So we might blame Partey, but if you compare the likes of Saul Niguez, the likes of Koke, the players he was playing with at Atletico Madrid, and the quality, the Granit Xhakas of this world and Mohamed El Nenis, there's a big difference, and we've got to style up. So we've got to work on our midfield. For me, that is something that we cannot get an excuse. We can't bail ourselves out. This midfield needs to change. It's the end of the season. It's the start of transfers. I don't want us to do late signings because we are not. It looks like we are poor people who brag. That's Arsenal. You're poor. You've got to be humble. Let us do our business early enough. Let us try to build a squad, because the moment you bring in the right players, this team is not so far away. We've been 6 points off top 4. 6 points. So next season we can do better. But if the moment Arsenal fail to do the right transfers, that will be the end. Honestly, that will be the end. We've done all it takes to show that we are one of the worst top 10 sides. Everything. And I say this on the live stream that I don't know why we finished ahead of Villa, Everton, and Leeds. Honestly, Leeds has been entertaining to watch this season. Villa has been entertaining to watch this season. I enjoyed Everton games, the likes of De Gore, the likes of Allen trying to pass out the ball, their distribution, the likes of Richarlison. They've been absolutely brilliant. It's unfair that Leicester City have not qualified for Champions League, but you can't blame Chelsea, because Chelsea invested a lot of money. And the reason as to why Arsenal finish 8th, maybe it's because of our ascribed status. That's all. Apart from being getting these things in an ascribed manner, there's nothing we've done to deserve anything this season. Absolutely nothing. And then you see, that's why we've tried to get everything through the back door. At least try to get Conference League, which is absolutely humiliating and embarrassing. Trying to get the Super League, get ourselves into the Super League. That has even been more humiliating. Try to get the Champions League, which I think would have been, a murder by suicide. Because the moment you go into the Champions League with the Granit Xhakas and Mohamed El-Nenis, that is suicide. So it's a season that we deserve to have, honestly. Not as Arsenal fans, no fan deserves this. But the way we've done our business, we deserve to have the season. Honestly. There's no way, there's no one you will tell as an Arsenal fan that we should have done any better than this. How? In terms of quality, almost the top 9 clubs, including Aston Villa. Because if I pick out around 6 players, 6 aside from Villa and 6 aside from Arsenal, well, for me it feels like Villa is the better side. 6 aside. They have Grealish, they have Joe McGinn, they have Traore, they have Ole Watkins, they have a better goalkeeper than ours in Martinez. They have, I think they have Tyrone Mings. They have more players. They have El Ghazi. They have more players aside that are better than ours. Players that would move straight into that Arsenal side. But imagine Villa. They were struggling not to get relegated last season. Southampton this season, we might have finished above them this season, but they've been above us for almost the greater part of the season. Not almost, for the greater part of the season. And if you look at how Southampton line up, last season they were battling relegation. They have conceded 9 goals consecutively in 2 consecutive seasons, and they've been above us for the greater part of the season. So it's embarrassing. Honestly, it is embarrassing. I want to support my club. I want to pick out a couple of seasons, and I give a lot of credit to the likes of Bukayo Saka, because Saka has been consistent. Saka has been, he's the one player that has been standing in between us and the devil. It's been Bukayo Saka, my player of the season, my sensational star, my ethnographer has been, has beat that man. Saka, there is no word that we can use to describe Saka. All we can say about Saka is, if there is anything that God can give him this season, let him just give it to him. Nothing. So, don't bring the likes of Nicola Pepe closer to Bukayo Saka. Pepe has been absolutely silent, anonymous, at the beginning of the season. Saka has been consistent at 19 years of age. Please don't get deluded. I don't want to see anyone talk about Nicola Pepe as player of the season. I would rather give it to Gabriel Magalhaes. New in the season, has had a very, very, top season. New in the league, top season. And very young as well. So people, that has been our season. Let me know in the comment section what you think. And of course, we will start talking about transfers in a very, very short time, because that's what we've got to do now. The recruitment either bails us out, or it leaves us in the mud. Right now, we are in the mud, in the worst season ever in Premier League history in terms of Arsenal. I'll speak to you on the other end when we do player ratings for the last time in the season, and we will react to Mikel Arteta's press conference for the last time in the season as well. Speak to you soon.